Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Tony, aka Two Tone, and in today's video, we're reacting to the news, man. We're doing the news roundup, and I'm sure y'all heard most of it, but I just want to give my 2 cents on it. You know, obviously some bad news that came out today, dealing with some injuries to some key players. But enough teasing, man. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this. So let's start with the good news first. Good news is Lamine Yamal and Balde has completed today's group session. So it looks like my boy Lamine Yamal and Balde are back. They are expected to be in the squad to face Sociedad. And then if everything goes right in that game, as far as they just get some minutes, kind of get some some match sharpness back within them, then they should be ready to play against PSG, which is good news. It was always expected, but you never really know with setbacks. You can't really predict what's going to happen when it comes to injury. So the fact that we now have confirmation that Lamine looks to be back, it was nothing too serious, and same with Balde, that's good news. And playing against PSG, who has some players out themselves, I'm hoping Lamine and Balde can get some minutes in that game against Sociedad, because I would like to see Lamine starting, understanding that we're missing Rafinha. And speaking of Rafinha, we're understanding that we're going to be missing Rafinha in the next 3 weeks. For the next 3 weeks, our only option really to start, I'm not going to say our only option, he could definitely do a front three of Ferran Torres out left, Lewandowski down the middle, and Rashford outright. He could do that. If not, he could start Rooney outright and have Rashford out left with Lewandowski in the middle. We know in the Champions League, Lewandowski is probably going to start. It's just all about who's going to be playing on his right and his left. I'm hoping he can get enough match fitness in that game to where he can go ahead and get some minutes on that right-hand side, Lamine Yamal, but I don't want to force it. So sticking with, like I said, what I was saying earlier, it's good news that Lamine Yamal is back, and it's a good problem to have as far as trying to figure out who's going to start in that game, because I'd rather have available bodies than trying to or have to discuss injuries of guys that's out for multiple weeks. 'Cause when I look at Rafinha, they saying that he injured his femoral biceps in his right thigh. They said they took him off for precaution against Real Oviedo, but something looked a bit off, because normally Rafinha doesn't get subbed off that early unless we're already having a match in hand and, you know, something like that. But in that case, that wasn't the case with Rafinha got subbed out. I think either we were still trailing or it was tied when he got taken. I can't remember specifically when he got subbed out. So when he got subbed out, I'm thinking either this is precaution or there may be something wrong. They said he showed up to training yesterday to start with the group, but I don't think he finished with the group, and then later found out he has this issue in his right thigh. So best wishes to Rafinha. It sucks because him being out for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be missing him for the PSG game and the Sociedad game coming up, and then we have the international break here shortly. Hoping that he gets back and it's nothing more than 3 weeks. So because we have the Clasico around the corner, and that'd be a big player to have back for the Clasico. So bad news for Rafinha, but it could definitely be worse. Because speaking to definitely, you know, it could get worse. Joan Garcia has suffered a tear in his meniscus in his left knee. Barcelona needs knee injuries, man. They're saying tomorrow he will undergo arthroscopic surgery performed by Dr. João Carlos Manuel. I don't know how to say his name. That's not the point. The estimated recovery time is between 4 and 6 weeks, depending on his progress. And devastating news. Devastating news, bro, because when Joan Garcia, when they announced that he got injured, my heart immediately skipped, because I'm like, oh shit, what happened? Like, he finished the game yesterday. Did it happen in training? Like, what happened in training? How bad is it? But then they were saying that he actually picked up the injury at the end of the game against Real Oviedo, and he woke up with soreness in his knee, and he was forced to limp. And I don't even think he partaked in training today. So the timing of this injury, now the good thing is, if this was last year and our starting goalkeeper was out for 6 weeks, we'd be in trouble. But because we know we got Szczesny as a backup, it's not ideal to lose John Garcia at any time. But for 4 to 6 weeks, I think we got an adequate backup in Szczesny. But it does suck, because if you look at the matches that he's going to miss, John Garcia, obviously the Real Sociedad game, because that's the next game in La Liga. Then we have the PSG game. We have to play against Sevilla. I think we'll be fine. Girona will be fine. But he may now miss up to 2 Champions League matches and El Clasico, which is very unfortunate, because I don't like when my players get knee injuries, bro. If you have to get surgery, I'm telling you, I always say this, sometimes with a lot of players, they have to get surgery more than once. I was one of the first people to say that in regards to Gavi. And I remember, I at the time, I wasn't even on YouTube. I was just talking amongst my buddies. And I'm like, this issue with Gavi, with that knee injury, could be a reoccurring issue as he gets older. He was like, nah, man, it was a freak accident, and he should be okay. He just gonna need a long time out. But once he fully recoups and he comes back, and it's, he'll be fine. He'll be back to Gavi. And I'm just like, I don't doubt that he can potentially get back to his talent. But as far as having to have cleanup surgeries with something that serious, it's something that's going to have to reoccur. Maybe in the off season, maybe you can play through it, and then in the off season, you got to get it cleaned up, which is going to have you out. Like, that's just something that you got to deal with, especially when you're getting surgery in your knees. So with this, with John Garcia, I'm not saying this is the same exact issue with Gavi. What I'm saying is, once you start getting surgery on your knees, it really doesn't stop. Now, I'm not saying that you would be out for a whole season. You may just need 2 to 4 weeks after a cleanup, but it's not ideal, especially for a young goalkeeper. I'm hoping this is nothing that's going to continue, but everything that I've seen in regards to sports and players getting professional athletes, the amount of running and exercising that these guys do, the amount of strain they put on their bodies, once you start getting surgery, man, it really doesn't stop. So while we're okay for the next 6 weeks, I am concerned long term. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just being pessimistic and I end up being wrong and he turns out to never have to deal with a knee issue again. I hope that's the case. I really do. But dealing with it right now, he's missing some big matches, unfortunately. And it's up to Ter Stegen not Ter Stegen. Dear God. It's up to Szczesny to make up. So they're saying that in this, John Garcia didn't get injured in training. Yeah, this is what we were just talking about. He eventually picked up in the final minutes. So the fact that he was able to still finish the game out strong shows the kind of player that he is, but it's still unfortunate. Look, I wasn't even going to talk about this, bro, because Dembele got the reward. He got the reward, right? But what bothered me, as we see the numbers here, Lamine Yamal came 321 points short off number 1, whatever, right? I kind of had a feeling once I heard that narrative of the Champions League winner is going to get it, the top scorer in the Champions League winning squad is going to win it. I was already telling myself it's going to be Dembele. What trips me out and where this lose credibility, bro, Rafinha received 0 first place votes, bro. After the Champions League run that he had, he gets 0 first place votes. After seeing Pedri falling 11th, Rafinha falling to 5th with 0 first place votes. As we continue to get further and further in the future with this, we start to see more and more winners, and we see how they're won and who's the top 25 and all this. The Ballon d'Or, in my opinion, bro, is losing so much credibility. Now, last year, look, I had a I had to laugh at Real Madrid and their fans because Vinny didn't win it, right? Barcelona fans and Man City fans wanted Rodri to win it, and he did. But I still will look at it and be like, man, while we as fans got the result we wanted because we did not want to see a Real Madrid player winning the Ballon d'Or. I know I didn't. It's just inconsistencies on what is the requirements to win it. To what do these guys prioritize? And when you give so many different people from so many different nations an option to vote, you get guys that they said that yeah, look at this. The lowest Ballon d'Or ranking Lamine received was 9th place, given by the Egyptian journalist. So favoritism, like bias, all this is a part of the process. And it's unfortunate because one year you get somebody feeling this way, or I got a goddess from my country that's up there, so I'm gonna use my votes on him, even though I don't have a theory on the pitch on why I believe he should be number one. But because he's from my country, I'll guarantee you this guy had Mohamed Salah at number one. And don't get me wrong, he had a really good season, but even their own fans were saying this was a Ballon d'Or winning type of season. He can be top 3, top 4, top 5. Yeah, sure. I believe we all agree with that. He had a hell of a campaign in the Premier League, but your team got eliminated in the knockout stages, round 16, and you didn't do anything in that. So by default, that doesn't even put you in the conversations. And I think most of them, from what I've seen in social media and YouTube videos, I haven't seen a lot of them really complain about that, which is fair. But when you're giving somebody from Egypt and a vote, and again, I don't have any proof, but I'm just telling you, I have a strong hunch that if you got Lamine Yamal 9th, I'm sure Madridistas wouldn't even agree with that. 9th? After the year that he had? 9th. This is why a lot of times, y'all, I don't even get it. I don't even really fall into the hype and the countdown and what's being leaked and what this reporter is saying. I don't really care, bro. Like, my GOAT Messi, he got 8. Probably should have had more. But 8, I know it ain't gonna be something that any player is gonna ever get close to. So I've seen what I need to see out of that roar. It's unfortunate for Lamine, and I'm sure he would use this as a chip, but I wasn't even really upset about that. I was more upset about where Pedri was and where Rafinha ended up. And to me, when I see that, that just ruins his credibility. But you know, it is what it is with that, man. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. First with the injuries, bro. What do y'all think? Y'all think we gonna be okay for the next 4 to 6 weeks? Understanding that we're gonna have Chesney in goal, who had a solid season last year. Y'all think we're gonna be okay? And do y'all think this is gonna be a prolonging issue like how I think it is in regards to John Garcia because he had to get knee surgery? Let me know what y'all think in that regards. And also for Rafinha, man, I'm sure a lot of y'all agree with me as far as the aspect of 0 first place votes for Rafinha is crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but you know, can't really control that, but I'm sure y'all agree with me. Let me know what y'all think on that. And the last one, man, look, at least we're gonna end this on some good news, bro. Lamine Yamal comebacks, and Balde, can't forget Balde. Would y'all start them in the game? And it depended on how many minutes they play against Sociedad. Would y'all start them against PSG? I would. At least Lamine, I would. But I know some people may not want to risk them. They may want to sub them in, give them 30, 45 minutes. But I say for me, I just go for it. But again, let me know what y'all think of that, man. If you appreciate the video, make sure you like the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. We on our way to 100 subscribers. I'm at 92. I do appreciate all you guys who show support. And again, man, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'm gonna catch you on the next video, man. Until then, two-tone out, man.